Hey, what's up, guys? This is Chris here, founder of Rooted Music. And at Rooted, our goal is to help you learn to play the music that you love by coaching you on the why and not just the what. And in today's video, we have an amazing tips and tricks kind of video for you to help you learn to play your instrument that much better, that much more fluid and fluent. And before you jump into the video, to the teaching here today, I'd love for you to subscribe to our channel, where you'll see many more tutorials of worship songs that you love and many more tips and tricks just like this to help you become more fluid and fluent on your instruments. So let's go ahead and dive into the teaching.
Hey everyone, this is JT with Rooted Music, here with you guys today for a tips and tricks video on how to sight read and how to improve your sight reading ability. I know as a musician, sight reading sometimes can be a really scary thing, and it's really tough sometimes, especially if you're trying to learn a really complicated song. Even easier songs sometimes are just really tough because sight reading is simply us looking at a sheet of music for the first time or looking at a chord chart for the first time and trying to play it. And I think a lot of us put pressure on ourselves to play it perfectly. And we want to play it as great as we can, but we're going to go through some tips and a checklist of a few things that we can look at before we play the song that's going to make learning songs easier as you go and being able to play them better the first time you play through it. So here we are. This is one of the songs out of one of our beginner piano books called the Windsock. We're going to apply our sight reading checklist to this, and then we'll look at a harder song and do the same thing. So when I'm getting ready to sight read or play a song for the very first time, there's really 5 key things that I look for that's going to help me understand how to play the song really well. The first one is the time signature, because if I'm trying to play a song, I can play all the right notes, but if I'm playing in the wrong rhythms, it's going to sound really bad, and I'm going to learn the song incorrectly, and then so I'm going to be used to hearing it incorrectly, and then when I have to go back and try to fix it, it's going to be harder for me to fix it. So we're going to look at our time signature here, and remember our time signature, we have 2 numbers, and those numbers tell us 2 really important things. The first number tells us how many beats in a measure, and the second number tells us what kind of note gets 1 beat. So in the Windsock here, we have 3/4 times. So if I tried to play this song with 4 beats in a measure, it's not going to work. But here, because I know I've got a 3 here, that means I got to count in groups of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So rhythmically, like that's already going to set me apart there. I know for sure I'm going to get the rhythms right and the counting right because I know I'm in 3/4. So that's huge. That's absolutely huge. The second thing I look for when I'm going through my checklist on sight reading is the tempo. Now here above the Windsock, we don't have a specific tempo marking. In some classical piano books, you might see allegro or adagio or moderato, things like that. Sometimes on chord charts, you're going to see a specific BPM that we lock in or a certain tempo that way. But here on this beginner song, we don't have a specific tempo marking to tell me how fast or slow to play. So what I do with my students and myself when I'm playing songs like this, I don't have it. I try to imagine what is the theme of this song, what is the feel of this song. And this song, the Windsock's probably not going to be a song that's super fast. If you've ever seen a Windsock at an airport, most of the time it's just kind of hanging out there because the wind's not blowing hard enough to get it all the way blowing straight. So we're going to assume that this song's going to be not slow, but not too fast either. We'll just take it at a nice, maybe medium tempo, 80 to 90 beats per minute there. So I got my tempo down, and I've got my time signature. The next thing I look for is my key signature to see if I have any sharps or flats that I need to be aware of that may not be written in the music here. And this song is in the key of C, so I don't have any sharps or flats to worry about, which is nice. And we don't have any accidental sharps or flats here in the song, so that makes it a lot easier. The fourth thing I'm going to look at here is the form of the song, meaning do I have any repeats? Do I have any DC al fine, any first and second endings, codas, anything like that in sheet music that might have me kind of bouncing around between sections? And we don't. We're going to play this song all the way from the beginning to the end. When I'm looking at a chord chart, that's where like the form or the outline or the song order comes into play. It gives me just a nice guide on how to play through the song. So I don't have anything there. And the last thing I look at is just a general looking through the music, and I ask myself, is there any spot that looks like it's going to be tough or a spot that's going to trip me up or anything that I could just kind of anticipate this is probably going to be the toughest spot in the song? And we don't really have anything that's super complicated here on the Windsock. So therefore, by just knowing those 5 things there really quick, it's going to make playing the song so much easier. So let's go through those 5 things again. The first thing is our time signature. We have to know that because counting through and getting the rhythms right is vital to being able to play the song. The second thing is our tempo. And again, on this one, we didn't have a tempo marking, so we really just want to kind of match the overall feel for what we would imagine if we were painting that picture through music of what a windsock blowing in the breeze would look like. The third thing we're looking at is our key signature. No sharps and flats here to worry about. Our fourth thing is the form of the song. We're playing it straight through. And the last thing we're doing is we're just looking through for any spots that are really going to trip me up. And there really aren't, for a beginner student, there might be some spots that might be a little tougher, but for somebody who's a little more advanced, this shouldn't be too bad. But now let's take that same checklist, those 5 things we look for, and let's apply it to a tougher song, and we're going to find that it works the exact same way. So here is the sheet music for the song Famous For, I Believe, by Torrin Wells. And this is a song that we have done a tutorial on in our piano library, and we can take the same checklist and apply it here. So the first thing we're looking for here is our time signature. So this song is in 4/4 time instead of 3/4 time, so we're going to have 4 beats per measure here. The next thing is our tempo. We have 86 beats per minute. So here we have a very defined tempo and time signature here. So we're going to lock in our metronomes at 86 beats per minute as we're playing through, so we know the exact tempo and speed we're playing at. The next thing is our key signature. And we have 2 flats in our key signature, which means we're playing in the key of B flat. So our key signature here tells me that every B and every E, I'm going to play a flat. So they don't write them in the music. It just makes it easier to write this out so we're not overloaded with flats as we're playing through this song. But we have to remember we got a B flat and an E flat. So this very first chord here in this song, I'm not going to play it like this because that doesn't sound good, right? I got a B flat here I've got to contend with, and I've got an E flat down here, and it makes a big difference. That sounds a lot better than that, doesn't it? And that's why knowing our key signature is vital. So we got to make sure we got the key signature down before we keep going on throughout the song, just like that. The next thing we're going to look through is the form of the song. Do I have any repeat signs? Do I have anything that's telling me to go back to a section or like I said, a DC al fine or anything like that? And we don't. Like, we're going to play this song all the way through, straightforward, no repeats, nothing. So that's helpful. And the last thing is I'm going to look through and find some sections that might be tough, that might trip me up. And so I'm just scrolling through now back up to the top, and let's find a section that might be a little tougher. Like, we got a lot of 8th notes here in the bridge, so we got to make sure we can play those chords quickly on those 8th notes. And then this song, it really isn't too terribly advanced either. There's not a whole lot here that's going to be really tricky. We got some passing notes here. Just want to make sure we nail those as we're playing through. Got some tied notes. Make sure I know what all the symbols and all of the note values are as I'm playing through. So tied notes, make sure we know things like that. And that's it. So really, if we take those 5 things and apply it to our sight reading, we're going to see a huge difference from how we look at music and just try to kind of barely get our way through it to really, instead of just surviving playing through it the first time, we're going to thrive as we play through it the first time. So there we go. So let's review. We've got to know our time signature, our tempo, our key signature, the form or the order of the song, and then find any spots that we might think is difficult. So that's a quick checklist that should help you improve your sight reading as you are learning easy music and tough music. So thanks so much for watching this video, guys, and we hope you have a great day.
Well, hey guys, I hope you really enjoyed that tip or trick here today as we implement that into your instrument of choice. I would love for you to subscribe to our channel where you'll see so many more of these tips and trick kind of videos, as well as other tutorials of amazing worship songs that you know and love. Thanks so much for joining us.